Hello, I'm talking to Silicon Catalyst, and the Silicon Catalyst have launched a new venture fund, and I've got various people here to tell me about it. I've got Laura Swan, Kai Chen, and Pete Rodriguez. Hello, all.
Hello.
Hello.
So let's start. I think Laura, tell me a little bit about what you're launching. And then we'll talk to Kai and then Pete about some of the from an investor point of view and from the Silicon Catalyst point of view.
Right. No, so Silicon Catalyst, the incubator, has been incubating companies, a 2-year incubation process for almost a decade now. And we early started an angel fund to support these companies. And now we're in the next generation, the 2.0 of we're starting a fund to also invest in them as they get farther along and actually earlier as they join our incubator. So we've basically gotten pretty good at bringing semiconductor companies into our incubator and helping them move forward with support for 2 years, in-kind partner support. So now we're really working on funding. We've launched the fund. We've already made 8 investments. So we're really looking forward to how this can grow our ecosystem and our portfolio companies.
Now, I mean, when there's a fund, usually the first question is how much is the fund, and I think this is sort of constructed in a way that it almost becomes like a I don't know, a perpetual fund. But
Yeah.
do you or Kai want to explain that and how
Go
much?
ahead, Kai.
Sure. So we set up a Delaware Series LLC as our fund structure. The reason we designed this structure is so that we could launch a series roughly every 18 months or so to match the incubated company cycle of a 2-year incubation cycle. The first series, we intend to raise a minimum of 15 million, and it could be as high as 25 million that we feel comfortable deploying without diluting the return. We think there are a significant pro rata opportunity that's going to be exclusive to the fund, as well as being able to access very early stage first check-in opportunities in these portfolio companies at inception. So to take advantage of the low valuation. So yeah, we think the fund will be a diversified approach to target semiconductor startups in the ecosystem.
And I think this is very different to, I think, many other funds in that your LPs are pretty much the major semiconductor companies who want to get involved.
They are, yeah. Our LPs are supported by a number of public companies, public semiconductor companies, as well as large family offices. And they looked at this as the next wave of growth in technology. Technology for the last 10, 15 years, it's dominated by software, but a lot of constraints are being hit by a pure software play. We think there's going to be a lot of breakthrough on the hardware side in the next 5, 10 years.
And I think your argument has always been with Silicon Catalyst, and then also with this new fund, is that many of the other funds are not sort of focused on semiconductors, but this is pure semiconductors, deep tech, and so there's a benefit for that from that as well. I don't know if Pete, you want to talk about that?
Yeah, so I see this as a huge next step in our progress, right? Something we wanted from day one. So if you look at our ecosystem and how it's grown, how the portfolio has grown to over 2 billion, how the angel group has been incredibly successful over 5 years, this is really the next step. But the other thing is that we're going to see more companies, right? Initially, we would see about 40 companies a year. That has grown to well over 100. As we expanded to also accept Series A companies, we expanded into MEMS and sensors, materials, and life science. Now with this fund and the ability to help companies when they join, and then help them much more further along, leveraging the ecosystem, leveraging Silicon Catalyst Angels, we're going to see a lot more companies coming our way. And it's not just chip companies, it's systems companies where the key differentiator is a chip. Did that answer your question?
It does. And then you invest a at both incubation stage as well as when the companies come sort of through the program. But you also have a number of syndication partners. So I think that's quite important, isn't it?
Yes. So the Silicon Catalyst Angels group is over 10 syndication partners that helps the check size go from a few hundred K to into the millions. But the Silicon Catalyst ecosystem, we had 20 investment partners 7 years ago. We have over 300, including, family offices, CVCs, the major players. But also we have the special strategic relationship with Mayfield.
Okay. And the other thing I think maybe just want to get over to our audience is this is not just Silicon Valley based, it's across your group. And you've got the UK Angels as Silicon Catalyst Angels as well. And I think through the whole sort of global network. And the first companies that you've announced on investments are all from so US, UK, and Israel.
Correct. Kai may want to add the LPs today are from Asia and the US, and hopefully we'll be adding a couple of major European LPs. And then the target markets are North America, Israel, and the EU, including the UK, not EU and UK. So
okay. All right. Well, good. Well, what's your sort of thing that you want people to take away from this?
There's not that many semiconductor focused venture fund currently and also historically, and we're very excited that we're help building the ecosystem by launching another institutional fund, and we really hope that this would attract the best startups to us and made our name much more visible.
Right.
Okay.
Right. I'd like to add that given our track record, both the Silicon Catalyst and Silicon Catalyst Angels, a lot of VCs, I think, will take and say, hey, they're investing, we want to come in. So we hope to bring more new VCs as a result, both corporate and strategic. And then finally, some of the major LPs will also be able to help with the supply chain of these companies, which really differentiates us from other investors.
Well, Pete, Lauren, Kai, thank you very much.
Thank you, Nitin.